The hidden cost of weakness is rarely something we notice immediately. It does not always arrive with a loud announcement or a sudden collapse. Instead, it usually enters quietly, hidden within everyday decisions and small habits. It might be as simple as postponing a task that needs to be done, avoiding a difficult conversation, or choosing comfort over effort. At the time, these choices feel easier and safer, but their cost adds up over weeks, months, and years. By the time we realize what has been lost, the damage is often difficult to repair. One of the main costs of weakness is in our relationships. When a person avoids setting boundaries out of fear of upsetting others, they may appear agreeable, but inside, they carry frustration and resentment. Over time, this erodes trust and love. A relationship built on silence or avoidance is not truly peaceful. It is only delayed conflict. True peace requires honesty, clarity, and the strength to speak when it is necessary. Weakness may prevent arguments in the short term, but in the long term it allows distance and misunderstanding to grow. Weakness also reduces the respect others give us. People naturally respect those who can stand by their principles and decisions, even when it is difficult. On the other hand, when someone bends too easily, avoids responsibility, or chooses silence when truth is required, others notice. Over time, such behavior communicates that the person cannot be fully relied upon. Respect, once lost, is hard to recover. Another hidden cost of weakness is internal. Each time we avoid a challenge, we may feel relief for a moment, but we also carry the weight of what was not faced. The mind remembers the things left undone, and they do not simply disappear. Instead, they return later with greater pressure. A small task postponed becomes a larger one. A conversation delayed becomes more difficult. In this way, weakness multiplies the challenges rather than reducing them. The Stoic philosophers often reminded their students that life is shaped by the choices we make in small moments. Weakness, even when disguised as patience or kindness, slowly takes away strength and potential. The lesson is clear: avoiding effort and responsibility. Today will always cost more tomorrow. To see weakness clearly is the first step to overcoming it. By recognizing the subtle ways it appears in daily life, we can begin to replace avoidance with action and hesitation with courage. In doing so, we protect our relationships, our self-respect, our peace of mind. The true nature of strength is often misunderstood. Many people imagine it as something loud, forceful, or even aggressive. But real strength is much quieter. It does not need to prove itself through domination or harshness. Instead, true strength is found in self-control, discipline, and the ability to remain steady in the face of challenges. The Stoic thinkers often emphasize this idea. For them, strength was not about overpowering others, but about governing oneself. A person who can resist impulsive reactions, who can pause before speaking, and who can act according to principle rather than emotion, is showing strength in its most authentic form. It is easier to follow temporary feelings, but it takes discipline to act with thought and purpose. One important quality of strength is consistency. Anyone can act with discipline for a short while, but true strength shows itself in daily habits. Rising each day with intention, completing responsibilities, even when it feels inconvenient, and remaining calm under pressure are signs of genuine strength. These actions may not look dramatic from the outside, but they build a life of stability and respect. Another part of strength is the ability to face difficulties instead of avoiding them. Challenges test who we are. They bring discomfort, but they also offer opportunities for growth. When we meet problems directly, we build resilience. Avoidance, on the other hand, only increases stress over time. True strength accepts that discomfort is part of progress and chooses to endure it with patience. Strength also requires humility. It is not about being admired by everyone or being seen as always correct. In fact, strength often means being willing to appear wrong or misunderstood if it means staying true to one's values. As Epictetus taught, improvement sometimes requires being thought foolish by others. The person of strength does not need constant approval, because their direction is guided by reason, not by popularity. Finally, true strength is not rigid or cold. It allows room for kindness, patience, and understanding, but it balances these with clarity and boundaries. It means treating others with fairness while also standing firm when it matters. In this way, strength becomes a steady guide in life. It is not about force, but about character. It does not shout, but it shapes every decision, every habit, and every relationship. And in the long run, it creates a life of purpose and resilience. Choosing growth over regret every path in life comes with its own form of difficulty. The question is not whether we will face challenges, but which kind of challenges we will carry. Weakness has its cost, and so does strength. Weakness carries the cost of regret, of missed chances, and of lost self-respect. Strength, on the other hand, carries the cost of discipline, effort, and sacrifice. The important difference is that the pain of weakness leads to emptiness, while the effort of strength leads to growth and meaning. When we choose weakness, we may feel temporary relief. Avoiding a decision or postponing a responsibility may seem easier in the moment, yet this relief is short-lived. Over time, opportunities slip away, relationships suffer, and our confidence diminishes. Regret grows heavier because it is built from moments that can never be returned. Unlike effort, which strengthens us, regret only leaves us with a sense of what might have been. Strength asks for something different. It requires us to face what is uncomfortable today in order to build a better tomorrow. It means accepting the effort of practice, the challenge of honesty, and the weight of responsibility. These may not feel pleasant in the moment, but they create growth. Discipline and daily actions builds trust in ourselves. Speaking with clarity strengthens our relationships. Taking responsibility allows us to move forward without carrying unfinished burdens. The Stoics reminded us that difficulties are not punishments, but opportunities. Just as physical exercise strengthens the body through effort, life strengthens the mind through challenges. To avoid challenges is to avoid growth. To meet them is to become more capable, more resilient, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Choosing growth does not mean perfection. Strength will never be without mistakes or setbacks. But even imperfect effort is better than avoidance. Each step forward builds character, while each moment of weakness left unchecked deepens regret. The choice, then, is simple, though not easy. We can carry the suffering of regret, or we can carry the effort of growth. One leaves us weaker, the other makes us stronger. Each day offers us this decision in small ways, in the habits we keep, the boundaries we set, and the words we choose to speak. Growth requires intention. Regret requires only hesitation. Which cost are you willing to live with?